So, Borough's 24-25 home shirt has dropped, and here's my first thoughts. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and it is one of the most exciting days of the year as a football fan. You've got the fixture release day, which is a big one, and you've got the kit release day. And Borough's kit was dropped today by Area, and I was so torn. I'm still a bit torn, and I'm not 100% sure on how I feel about this kit. My very first opinion was that I was disappointed by it. I was a little bit disappointed. I was a little bit let down because it just felt incredibly simplistic and very boring and very dull. And I think naturally when you go into seeing a kit and you have all these expectations and images and visions in your mind about what it might look like, you always, I think 7 or 8 times out of 10, your expectations are always going to be way higher than the result, because you just expect it to just look perfect. But then if you ask yourself, what does a perfect kit look like? You can't describe it until you see it. So I feel like you're always going to be a tiny bit underwhelmed when it comes to a home shirt, because with away tops, it's limitless. You can pretty much do whatever you want, so your expectations are a little bit more broad. Whereas with a home shirt like Borough, it's red, it's white, it's sometimes blue. It has a band, a white band usually, which is our identity, and that's pretty much it. So there's not as much to play with there, but you've got this grand image in your head of the band looking fantastic and outstanding. And to be fair, there have been some absolutely cracking Borough kits with the band. I mean, I go back to the kit in 14-15 with the diagonal white band. I thought that one was absolutely stunning. I mean, my favourite Borough kit of all time is our 888.com Borough kits, especially the one where the white band goes down the side. And even in recent years, I thought the promotion one without the white band was actually really simplistic and smart. And I don't mind the Premier League one either, if I'm honest. But for quite a few years now, it's been pretty simple. The band's been across the chest, and that's been it. And last season, they tried to do something really different. And I will stand by the fact that I thought last season's kit was absolutely dreadful. And I think comparing this season's kit, it makes this season's look like a masterpiece. And I guess I'm glad that they've done something different with the band. So I ask myself, well, what more could they have done with this Borough kit? What more can you do with a Borough kit? So I am grateful that they've moved the band, I guess, because I guess when you look at other clubs' kits, clubs that have vertical or horizontal stripes, their kits are always pretty much the same every single season, whereas Borough's can be varied up a little bit. I do much prefer the white band across the Area badge and the Borough badge than I do the Unibet badge, because the Unibet badge is so big and square. When there's a band around it, it just leaves so much space down either side, and it just looks completely off. So I prefer a thinner band across the top, and I do like how it's sort of then connected into the sleeves. But I just feel like there's something very small missing that would take it into an absolute top kit. And I don't think there's much. I think maybe if they'd have added a tiny bit of black trim around the collar, around the sleeves, that would have just added an extra layer to it. And I think that little tiny accent of black in very slight areas would match up well with the Area logo, and I think give the shirt more life. I feel like it is a bit lifeless, it's a bit flat, it's a bit boring. And don't get me wrong, simplicity can sometimes be the best. My 2 favourite kits in the Championship last season were Plymouth's and Preston's. Both incredibly simple kits. So I'm not asking for a kit that's got patterns and gradients and tie-dye patterns all over it. I wouldn't want that for a Borough kit. I feel like this is really close to being very smart, but it's missing that additional layer, and I don't quite know what that is. But it's certainly a step up. And another thing I will say about Borough's home shirt, I think it looks a lot better worn than it does hung up. I feel like it does look very lifeless once it's hung up on its own. When it's worn by somebody, I think it is the sort of shirt that looks better worn. I especially think it's really, really nice when it's worn under a jacket. My boy Yusuf there, as you can see, come 3rd place last year in the EFL Fan of the Year Awards as well. He's an absolutely top lad. Love chatting to him before every home game. We should get him on the channel, actually, Yusuf. He's top guy. But he looks fantastic in the Borough shirt. It looks great under a jacket. And I feel like that's because there's more going on. So the shirt blends in a bit better. Whereas on its own, it just looks bland. So it is the sort of shirt that I think looks good in certain places, with certain things. And it might need that. How it will look on the pitch, I'm not too sure, but one big point, and my final point, is quite a simple one, and it's easy to say this, but football shirts are often looked upon, in terms of years down the line, looked on not on their design, more so on their association. And some of my favourite shirts, as I've spoke about, are my favourite shirts because of their association. You know, the 888.com shirts were infamous for our days when we were top half Premier League team and we were fighting in the UEFA Cup. You know, the pinstripe one is a very simplistic shirt, but it reminds me of the season we got promoted. You know, there's the first season in the Championship. That's a Borough shirt I despise, and I don't think it's a nice shirt, but equally it reminds me of pretty dark times as for when I was a Borough fan when I was younger. So a big part of it does come down to how you associate that shirt with the season and with success. And if Borough end up having a fantastic season, I'm sure this shirt will go up naturally in everyone's estimations. But so far, I think it's okay. Could be better. Could definitely be worse. I think it's just all right. So if I was to rate this shirt out of 10, I'd probably give it a 6. But the more I do step away and come back and look at it again, it is growing on me. So we'll see. Watch this space to see what my thoughts are as we go on. I will be doing more cool content on kits throughout the summer. I'll be doing another video like this on our away kit when that drops. I am also doing a fun tier list video on all the Borough kits with the guys from the Borough Breakdown over on their channel, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And I might also do my own individual one here on this channel, putting all of Borough's home shirts and away shirts into some form of a tier list. And I will be joined by my fiance, Liv, is going to be joining me at some point later this summer, as we're going to sit down together and probably argue like an old married couple. And we're going to be tier listing all the kits in the Championship and the Premier League, which is something else that I think is going to be rather exciting. But I'm very intrigued to see what you guys think, because I feel pretty undecisive, and I don't like that. Don't like it when I don't quite know my thoughts on something and how it looks. So I want to know your thoughts in the comment section below, what you think of this shirt. If you like it, if you don't, your reasons why. Leave a like on the video and subscribe for much more cool kit content to come. And yeah, until the next one, I'll be back next time, and hopefully I'll have a more solid opinion on Borough's new home shirt. It's growing on me. That's all I'll say. I'll see you guys in the next one.